Okay, so today's about teaching you how to prepare your scalp for scalp treatments for hair loss and also some scalp conditions or scalp problems. So most of the time we use products like Minoxidil, Activance or Method Regenerant to kickstart. We're using some of those at home and here at the salon. So this is the procedure that you're going to use to prepare your scalp. So we always start at the beginning with brush therapy. So we've done this for you before, so we'll just get in there and start again. So the brush therapy is basically a gentle exfoliating action. It's going to help to remove any of the dead skin cells that are sitting on the surface of the scalp or have come to the surface of the scalp. It's also going to stimulate the scalp, which also stimulates a little oil gland, which is the sebaceous gland. Now that oil comes to the surface of your scalp and it actually forms a film. So you've spent a lot of money on these products that you're going to be putting on your scalp, and if we don't remove that film, they're not going to get into the hair bulb, which is what our target site is, especially for the hair loss. So we're stimulating the scalp, we're stimulating the little erector pili muscle that's attached to your hair bulb. And as we get the blood flowing down there, it then pushes it all the way back up your hair shaft onto the surface of the scalp, so we can actually wash it all away. So if we have a nice clean scalp to start with, then we're going to have what we call effective absorption of your treatment that you're using. So how's that feeling, Shane?
Feels good.
Feels good?
Yeah, it does start to tingle a bit now.
Good stuff. So brush therapy is actually really good for your scalp. You're basically feeding your scalp and it does feel good.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, we always try and talk someone else into doing it. It's not quite the same when you do it yourself.
No, not quite, I can imagine.
So when I do it for my clients, I always do it for at least a minute or two, just because it's good. But when you're doing it yourself at home, up to a minute or until you can feel that tingling sensation that you just mentioned before, or you feel the warmth. Now when I'm doing it, I always follow with my other hand. I can feel the oil come through your hair, and I can see that some scale has come off, which is okay, because we're just doing that to wash it all away. So I think we've done all we need to do. So we'll stop our brush therapy there, and then we're going to go through and we're going to teach you how to actually wash your scalp. Okay, so I'm just going to wet your hair down first before we apply the shampoo. Is the water okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Good stuff. It doesn't really matter what temperature of water you use at home. Some people say if you've got hair loss you have to use cold water or warm water, as long as it's not hot water. Okay, we're going to do a scalp cleanser to start with. So I've probably got about 10-cent piece between both hands, and then we just apply it evenly over the entire scalp. Now if your hair's dirty, it's not going to foam up the first time, but if it's fairly clean, and yours is because you wash every day, you see we've got some really good foam happening in there. So you can feel the pressure of my fingertips. I get in there and clean the scalp with the fingertips. You don't need to use your fingernails because we're not going to scratch the scalp. Now the active ingredients in the shampoo are actually doing the cleansing for us, so it's a really quick on-off procedure. So we rinse that one off. I know with you guys, it's I can't take any time up out of your life. So let's make it nice and quick and easy for you.
Absolutely.
You normally wash every day, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, just in the shower.
You do morning or night? Do you do
Night.
night time? Yes, so it's got to be quick, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So I always go in a second time because we brought so much oil and skin and those dead cells to the surface before. I really want to make sure the scalp is clean, so the treatment that we're getting ready to put on is actually going to get through the barrier or the hydroliquid film, as we call it. So second time around you're going to have a lot more bubbles, and that says I'm clean. So go through again really quick. It's probably quicker than when you wash your own hair.
Yeah, it is actually, yeah.
So always remember the product's doing it for you. So rinse that off. Now the next one we're going to do is a scalp tonic, and it's actually something very different to what you're used to. Because most people use a shampoo, then they use a conditioner. Now what we do is we want to open your hair follicle, so the little holes there, we're trying to get down into the hair bulb to do treatment. So this scalp tonic is specifically designed to open those follicle openings. So it's what we call the scalp freeze, meaning it's very, very cold on the scalp. So I'm going to start applying it. Now I'm doing treatment over your whole scalp today, but when you do this at home, you only do through that top area. That's it, so you can feel that.
Yeah, you can feel it straight away.
Yeah. Now, because I'm doing a treatment over your entire scalp, I want all of your follicles open, so I'll go everywhere. And you can feel the gel?
Yeah, straight away.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, as soon as you feel that, it's done what it needs to do.
Okay.
So it's instant acting, you don't need to leave it on. Some people prefer to leave it on because they love the sensation.
It feels really cold, it's lovely.
Yeah, that's why we call it the scalp freeze.
Yeah.
If we go under the microscope, we can see that your hair follicle would now be open.
Wow.
So we just quickly rinse it off, and it really intensifies when you add the water again, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
you can really feel it again.
Feels alive, doesn't it? Okay, now with your short hair, you don't use a conditioner?
No.
You don't need to.
Okay.
Conditioner is for the hair to close the cuticle and soften the hair and all these things. I mean, you wear wax in your hair, you don't want soft hair.
No.
So if you've got hair, I don't know, longer than 15 centimetres, you need to consider using a conditioner, but I've never known you with longer hair than this.
No, this is about some of the kids. Yeah.
So you're all good. So we've got a nice clean scalp and our follicles open. So we'll just give it a quick dry, and we're going to go back into the other room and we're going to show you the next step.
Cool.
Great. Okay, so we're going to give the scalp a really good towel dry. Now, when you do this at home, you're using Minoxidil. Okay, so you've got 5% Minoxidil.
Yeah.
Now, we don't want to dilute the Minoxidil. So when I'm doing the treatment in here, I can just towel dry your hair and get the majority of moisture out because it's okay. But when you're doing it at home, you really need to get all of that moisture out. So we're going to blast it dry. So I'm just going to demonstrate how long it should take to just dry your scalp to the level of dry Minoxidil. The treatment area is all around the top area, so don't worry about the back. Just dry the top. Is your hair dryer? Just borrow it. You know when you wash your hands and you dry your hands with a towel, they've still got that moisture?
Yeah.
Feel that now. That's what I call bone dry.
Yeah.
That's how dry it has to be. Okay, so we're nice and dry. Now the next thing we're going to do is our scalp microneedle therapy. Now your scalp roller is what we use for our microneedle therapy. It's going to create all the little channels through your scalp. So I'm going to get started while I'm explaining what it is. It creates the channels through the scalp. So we've opened the follicles, but now we're actually creating extra channels, which is extra entry points for the Minoxidil and the Activance to get through. So therefore, we're going to have a more effective treatment because your scalp's clean, your follicles are open. Now we've got all these extra entry points for your scalp treatments to get to the hair bowl. So I find treatment using these simple little tricks works faster because we're getting to our target side. How's that feel?
Yeah, it feels good. Yeah.
You get used to it, don't you?
Yeah, I get used to it.
It's a little bit squeaky. I do it too. I quite like it. So what we must do is we roll back and forth with our scalp microneedle. Now the little microneedles on this roller are 0.5 of a millimetre long. Now I'm going to work down into the sides of your scalp because tonight I'm doing a treatment to correct your hair cycle. So we know that we've got some male pattern thinning, which is why we're using Minoxidil for the DHT. But we also found that because our hair cycle is disrupted, that's why we've got the male pattern thinning at such a young age.
Yeah.
So we're correcting that in here for you. So I'll roll everywhere. But just remember when you're doing this at home, just that top area. So you'd be done by now.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, nice and quick.
Really quick.
And it just fits really, really easily into your daily routine. On back inside. I like to change directions when I'm doing the microneedle. I just find I make sure I always do cover the whole area. Some people like to just roll back and forth, other people go the other way, or we do the horseshoe, which is around the U shape, down to the front, and then change your directions and come back. Now the biggest thing is that you can feel that pressure,
Yeah.
but you don't want to draw blood. Don't press too hard. I mean, it's designed to do what it's meant to do, so we don't press it. Some people get a little bit carried away. Okay, so once that's all done, instantly, whilst all the follicles are open and we've got our channels there, we're going to go straight in with our Activance, which is our hair stimulant. And it's got some DHT blocking properties as well. So the goal is probably 20 to 40 pumps. We're going to go all over the scalp. Again, even this is our treatment area. We do have a problem everywhere else as well. So once your Activance is in, just a few more pumps in your area of concern. Now you're doing this every day?
Absolutely, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
For the people who aren't doing it every day, or you're down where we're doing maintenance treatment,
Yeah.
you only do this all over the scalp the days that you wash, and then just in your area of concern on the days you don't wash.
Oh, I see.
But
Yeah.
for you can just do it everywhere.
Yeah.
Now tonight we're going to use our little kickstart treatment. So this is our in-salon treatment. Now you're using Minoxidil, so I'll
Yeah.
demonstrate where you would be using your Minoxidil, which is in this top area.
Yeah.
So you would go in and you're just going to squeeze the treatment onto the scalp, and you can feel it, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I find when I'm doing it myself, I can see it and feel it, because I'm back here. I can see it, but I can't feel it. So it might dribble down, but I can feel it's wet in the scalp.
Yeah.
So you just keep squeezing, and you're spreading it around. You're certainly not rubbing it in. Okay, and I'm just going to go down into the sides and back, because this is the treatment that we're doing for you. Now I can see that's dripping a bit. Just let me know if you feel it dripping anyway. Just do it in lines through the back. You can still feel that.
Yeah.
And I can feel I've used too much because it's dripping. But when you're doing that yourself, you can feel where the drips are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've used more than half, so I know I've used enough product. So if you're using Minoxidil, don't use the hairdryer. Okay? So you've got to do it at least half an hour before you go to bed.
Okay.
And you've got to let it dry naturally for half an hour. It takes half an hour for it to all absorb. So that's why doing a night time is better than a morning,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
leaves, your hair, Minoxidil is not going to leave your hair looking as wet as
Yeah.
this is.
No, it doesn't actually.
No.
No.
So it dries quickly, and then you go to bed in half an hour.
Yeah.
That's about it. So the only other rule is once you put Minoxidil on, do not wash your hair or get your scalp wet for 2 hours.
Okay.
Okay? Everything else is good. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.